obviously last week was a pretty not a typical start for you. What are you looking for as far as bouncing back this week?
Oh, give credit to Auburn. They had my number, they had Trevor's, they had all of our numbers. Unless you could spin it really well, like Chadwick and a couple of those other guys in Rindle, and continually throw that, they're gonna get on you. So credit to those guys. They got hot the past 6 games. So that happens. But I'm fine. I'm not worried about it. So I'll come back out tomorrow and just get ready to go.
Dave said you were getting your fastball up. Was that just a deal where every 10 starts or whatever you might not have your best stuff?
Not every pitcher's going to go out every time and have his best stuff. I've been lucky and had very few occasions where I didn't have my best stuff. So, pitches were up a little bit. That's a small thing. Like I said, give credit to those guys. You can get away with a little bit up. It wasn't like it was like bell time. It was just a little up. So, give credit to those guys.
Thursday again, a little less rest. What are your thoughts on that? Probably affect you, not affect you?
I think I'll be fine. I got out at a pretty low pitch count against Auburn on Friday. So, it was like basically throwing just a little bit of extended bullpen. So I feel great, and I'm ready to go for tomorrow.
Do you think last week was just an anomaly? No arm fatigue, anything like that?
No, I'm 100% healthy. I'm fine. It's just, like I said, those guys could hit, and they've been – their batting average the 6 games prior to ours, it was unreal that they started hitting. They did the same thing to Vallejo from Florida, and a bunch of these Friday night guys are top guys this year. So, give credit to those guys.
What's the scouting report on?
I know they're young. They got Blackman back and Bortles back and a couple of older guys, but they're freshmen. They're not nothing to mess with. I know a lot of them turned down the draft and to come to Ole Miss, so they can all play. So it'll just be a matter of executing everything and just holding them down.
It was another one-run win. What do you think the difference has been in these close games for you all? Because you're winning a whole lot of them this year.
Experience won. This team's got a lot of experience. We have a lot of older guys that have been through the weather and been through the rough. So having those guys and then just playing hard to the very last out, I think is what's helping us a lot with those close games.
When you look at a guy like Evan Lee who plays both ways, what does that do for you guys?
It's huge. I played high school ball with Evan, and so Evan, he's a good player, and I knew he was going to do good when he came in. And for him to be able to, for one himself, to be able to play outfield, and then if we need him to come in, we ain't got to send him to the pen or anything. He's one of those guys you can bring him in from the outfield, and he can throw 8 warm-up pitches and be on target. So it's big to be able to have him.
How big for a guy like Kostychak to win a game last night?
Kostychak, he's been working hard all year long, and stuff hadn't been going his way exactly. And so for him to go out there last night and be able to pick up the win and be able to throw against that kind of competition and be successful, I think was huge for his confidence level. So I'm pumped for him too.
The weather, does that affect the strategy and everything else, not knowing how many games you can get in and the urgency of this one?
Not really. We take everything one game at a time. So, tomorrow the weather looks like it's going to be okay. So we're going to get ready for tomorrow. And then if we have to do a doubleheader Friday or if it goes and plays out all 3, stuff's going to stay the same.
There are no midweek games left. How much do you think that changes what you all can do as a pitching staff in terms of just having more arms available, more rested, things of that nature?
Yeah, we'll definitely have more arms available. We'll have some of the younger guys available that are getting some more experience. You'll see them starting to throw a little bit more. And so, it's just going to help us all together because, it's going to give Chadwick a rest because we use him in midweeks, Alberius, Rindle, Murphy. We use all those guys during midweeks. So, being able to have those guys fresh for the weekends, I think it's going to help out the bullpen a lot.
What have you thought about the game of Murphy lately?
I thought Murphy's been really well. I played with him all through high school, too, on showcase ball and stuff. And I've seen him do it when we were younger, and to be able to see him do it again now is huge. I think he's finally figured it out at the college level, and I think you're going to keep seeing the same of what he's been seeing.
Obviously, the bullpen had to throw a ton of innings last weekend. You used 9 guys last night. I guess Tagliani's status is a little up in the air from what we know. Just how important do you think it is the starters go deep into games this weekend?
It's huge for starters to be able to go deep. Last weekend I think all 3 of us threw combined 5 1/3, I think, which that's hard to win any series when you're starting pitcher and go very far. So, we've been going deep into games so far this year. Like I said, last weekend was just it was mind-boggling at times, honestly. So I think we'll be fine. I think we're going to get right back on track again and get going back in deep in games, and our bullpen will be how it's been all year.
way last night turned out with 9 guys getting to pitch in a major league park. That's pretty cool, I would think, for the team.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, being able to pitch in a big league park is a really cool experience. I know for those younger guys, I know it was fun for them being able to sit out there and be able to say they're throwing a pro mound. You know, I mean, we had guys in the bullpen that every time you got them thrown off the mound, they fixed the mound back and opened the door for you going out to the field and everything else. So, I mean, that was a pretty cool experience for them.
You play 2 games during the midweek. Can you sense once you get maybe to the end of Sunday that the arms are fatigued just because of, you know, how many people have had to throw, and then you throw in the fact that you guys have had some pitching injuries too?
You know, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure those guys' arms get a little fatigued, but I mean, we're getting to the point in the season now they should be pretty much used to that, you know. I mean, so I'm sure some of them are depending on their pitch count and their innings that they go, but overall they're all pretty healthy, and they all feel pretty good going into Sunday if they're needed, if they threw on Friday or Saturday. So, I mean, you'd have to ask one of them that, though. I don't really know.
What's been the reaction from the team for a guy like Lee who may be coming in for a senior like Arledge?
You know, I mean, we treat it the same. You know, we all know Jake can hit, and we last night the situation. I mean, we played as Coach Van Horn talked about playing numbers against that guy. I mean, I think righties were hitting like $120 something off that guy, and so we put Evan in, and lefty's been hitting really well. And you know, I mean, reaction's the same. I mean, we're going to pull for the guy whether it's Jake or Evan. You know, we don't really care who it is. And Evan came in and got the job done, and that sparked it for us, and we were able to get rolling.
You talked to Dave about getting guys in the bullpen to help smooth out the mound for y'all and open the doors.
No, you know, I don't think that'll happen. I don't think Blake or any of those field guys are going to want to do that too much. So, I mean, it'd be nice, but I doubt it'll happen.